Most people would never mix cement with varnish. But after seeing what this mixture can actually do, you may look at these materials completely differently. That idea sounds unusual at first, yet the result becomes very clear once you see how each material works together. I start with a clean container. Clean space matters because even a small amount of dust can weaken bonding later. You pour in about 250 milliliters of varnish. This liquid forms the outer protective layer. It seals surfaces and blocks moisture after curing. Next, I add 3 heaping tablespoons of cement. You do this slowly. Cement dust is extremely fine, so fast movement sends particles into the air. I keep the motion controlled and steady. Then I increase speed gradually. The mixture thickens as cement absorbs liquid and starts forming structure. Now we reach an important moment. Cement alone creates strength, but it also creates brittleness. So I introduce 150 milliliters of PVA glue. This material changes the behavior of the mixture. PVA improves adhesion and adds flexibility. Without it, the layer cracks under small stress. With it, the surface can handle expansion and contraction without breaking. I continue stirring until the mixture looks smooth. You should not see dry clumps or uneven texture. If any lumps appear, I break them slowly. A consistent mixture ensures even performance later. Now we upgrade the mixing process. I take a wooden stick and 3 zip ties. I attach one at the tip, then secure the other 2 behind it to form a small spiral shape. You trim the extra plastic so it doesn't interfere with rotation. I insert the stick into a drill and tighten it firmly. When I turn it on, the tool spins and creates a vortex. This motion pulls material inward and pushes it outward at the same time. It breaks clumps and blends everything evenly. The principle matches a kitchen mixer, but here we apply it to construction materials. I move the tool up and down slightly. That movement helps distribute the mixture through the entire volume. The texture becomes smoother, thicker, and more uniform. Before adding color, let me ask you something. Where are you watching from? And have you ever tried mixing materials like this before? We can learn a lot from different conditions, so share your experience below. Now I add pigment. About 20 grams works well. You can choose any color. The varnish already has a natural tone, so the final shade blends it. I mix slowly at first, then increase speed until the color spreads evenly. The mixture now looks completely different from the original components. Now we move to the main test. I take a fiber cement roofing sheet. You see this material everywhere in homes and workshops. It offers strength and durability at a low cost. However, it has one major weakness. It absorbs water over time. Rainwater does not stay on the surface. It moves into tiny pores inside the material. That leads to stains, moss growth, and eventually small cracks. So I divide the sheet into 2 sections. One side remains untreated. The other side receives the mixture. I apply the coating evenly. You can see how it spreads across the surface. I keep the motion steady to avoid uneven thickness. The mixture does not just sit on top. It moves into the pores and fills them. That is the key difference. Now we let it dry completely. Drying allows varnish to form a protective film and cement to lock inside the structure. Next, I move to a wall surface. Many homes have areas where moisture builds up during rainy weather. That moisture causes peeling paint, damp patches, and long-term damage. I apply the mixture across the wall. You spread it evenly and cover the full section. The goal is not just appearance. The goal is to block water from entering. Now we prepare a second formula. I take a clean container and add 100 milliliters of silicone glue. Then I add 50 milliliters of ethanol. I mix slowly and keep the motion consistent. Ethanol reduces thickness. It allows the mixture to flow smoothly and reach small surface details. Silicone creates a flexible protective layer after curing. Together they form a coating that spreads easily and holds firmly. I divide the solution into 2 cups. One remains clear, the other receives metallic pigment. You mix until the color becomes uniform. Now we test this solution. I take a rusted metal bar and coat one side. The other side remains unchanged. This gives a direct comparison. Next, I apply the mixture to a glass bottle. Glass has a smooth surface with no pores, so adhesion becomes critical. I apply thin layers and allow each one to settle before continuing. Now we return to the main mixture. I apply it to wood and a metal sheet. This step shows versatility. The mixture adapts to each surface. Wood absorbs part of it while metal holds it on the surface. At this stage, all materials are coated. Now we wait for full drying before testing. Now comes the most important test. I pour water over the fiber cement sheet. You watch both sections carefully. The untreated side absorbs water immediately. The surface darkens as moisture enters. Then look at the coated side. Water flows across and runs off. It does not stay or penetrate. This difference shows how the mixture blocks moisture. Next, I test durability. I use my fingernail and scratch the coated metal and glass surfaces. The layer holds firm. It does not peel easily. That tells us the adhesion is strong. So now we understand the result clearly. Cement adds strength. Varnish seals the surface. PVA improves flexibility. Silicone protects. Ethanol improves application. With these simple materials, we create a solution that works across multiple surfaces. Now I test the wood. I drop water onto both sections. The untreated wood absorbs it quickly. The coated surface repels it. Water forms droplets and slides away. Finally, I return to the wall. I apply water and observe. The surface resists penetration just like a professional waterproof coating. You don't need expensive products to protect your home. You can use what you already have and apply it correctly. If you found this useful, leave a comment and share your thoughts. Tell me where you're watching from and how you would use this method. And if you enjoy practical projects like this, subscribe so you don't miss what comes next.